Hi, good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you all to the Art of Living Corporate Programs virtual series. As you know, we are on the 5th edition of our Expert Speaks, and tonight we have the privilege of a really renowned expert. His name is Mr. Khurshid Batliwala. I'm a personal fan of his and have benefited tremendously from his friendship, his coaching, his mentoring. He's also been a trainer to me. And he holds a master's degree in mathematics from IIT Mumbai. He's also been with the Art of Living for the last 27 years and has taught programs around the globe. He's a prolific speaker. He's done over 10 TEDx talks. He's addressed conferences, universities, corporates around the globe. The list is endless. He's also an author of 2 books that have sold over 80,000 copies, The Happiness Express, as well as Ready, Study, Go. And he is also a well-being expert. And we realize that in this time of uncertainty, anxiety, there's been so much change for all of us to process. A lot of our sleep has been compromised. And fortunately, Baba is an expert on many things. He's an avid environmentalist. And as far as sleep goes, he has such in-depth knowledge. And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Baba to you. And so over to you, Baba.
Niyati said a lot of things. And yeah, you know, when someone introduces me, I also think, oh my God, I really did all that, huh? And I guess as a well-being, as a person who knows a lot about well-being, and as a person who knows a lot about productivity, I really do so many things. One of the biggest things that contribute to well-being or contribute to productivity is sleep. Rest, actually. I would not just say sleep, it would be rest. Rest includes sleep and meditation. Yes. Now, let's focus on sleep for this session. So, what we are going to talk about is, one is why sleep in the first place. 2, what happens if you don't sleep enough? What is the cost of not enough sleep? What are the benefits of great sleep? And then I'm going to end today's session with giving you 3 tips. 3. Now, there are many, but I'm going to give you 3 tips to ensure that you are getting good quality sleep. Cool? So, why sleep? Well, for almost 1,000,000 years of human development, our species slept for 10 to 12 hours every night. Of the last 30, 40 years, especially in most developed cities, the amount of sleep that we do is less than 5 hours. We have been, as a species, sleeping for 1,000,000 years as we developed into this particular installment, this particular version of ourselves. Amazing fact, no animal on the planet will willingly deprive themselves of sleep. Did you know that? Human beings are the only animals or the only creatures on this planet who actually willingly deprive themselves of sleep. So how did this happen? How did we get into this sleep deprivation business in the first place? Well, 1867, a guy called Edison, I hope you've heard of him, invented the light bulb and vandalized the night. This was the beginning of people staying awake in the night. Electricity came into the big cities and then percolated into the smaller towns and villages. And then, of course, there was television. And then there was 24-hour television. And then there was the internet, and there was Facebook, and Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and all these things, Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hotstar, and you see there is so many things that we can now do uh, instead of sleeping. And unfortunately, we do them. Yes. Think of a really good mobile phone. Okay. You have a really good mobile phone. You've got some fantastic apps on it. You've got like really great camera. You've got all this amazing technology. Would any of it work if there was no charge? Yeah. Your mobile phone would be just a useless paperweight, no? Without charge. Yes or no? Similarly, this body is an amazing piece of organic technology. Yeah, we make poems, we write music, we we make pizza, we managed to go to the moon, and we are fantastic technology, but we too need our rest. We too need our charging, and that charging is sleep. Hmm? So here are 3 questions to find out whether you are sleeping enough. Huh? Question 1 is, are you waking up in the morning without an alarm? Are you waking up naturally? The alarm is really something very dangerous, because when you wake up with an alarm, you get yanked out of sleep, from a very deep state of sleep into awakefulness in a very short period. And this spikes your blood pressure, this spikes the adrenaline production in your system, this spikes a lot of stress hormones into your bloodstream. If you do it again and again, like on a habitual basis, you are setting yourself up for a heart attack. So I guess the first thing you can do is get rid of the alarm clock from your room and sleep and wake up naturally. And if you find that you are waking up later than you think you should, you may need to sleep earlier than you are, so that you are getting that full night's rest. Okay. So the first thing is, are you waking up without an alarm? Are you waking up naturally? The second is, are you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated when you wake up? Are you waking up, wow, I'm feeling great? Okay. If this is not the case, then your sleep quality or quantity may be compromised. And the third is this feeling of being refreshed and awake, does it last till at least 12 in the afternoon? Around 12 in the afternoon, there is a system in the body which builds up sleep pressure, so that by around 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon, most of us are feeling tired and sleepy, and we just need to kind of rest a little bit. It's a very good idea to take a power nap at this time, half an hour to 40 minutes, never more than 40 minutes. Okay, that will refresh you and rejuvenate you for the evening ahead. But if the feeling of well-being, of being refreshed, is not lasting till 12 in the afternoon, again your sleep is compromised. Okay, so are you waking up in the morning without an alarm? Are you waking up refreshed, rejuvenated? And does that feeling of refreshed and rejuvenation, does it last till 12 in the afternoon? These are the 3 questions. If any one of them is a no, is a negative, for sure you are sleep deprived. For sure. Okay. Now, what is the cost of sleep deprivation? In dollar terms, the US alone spends $511 billion a year on sleep deprivation and sleep issues related to sleep deprivation. $511 billion. Okay, it's a lot of money. People sometimes are just so exhausted that they don't show up for work. That is one thing, that is absenteeism. But there is another thing, it is called presenteeism. Presenteeism is that the person is there, but they are so tired that they're mentally switched off. And because of this presenteeism, the loss in productivity, the loss in efficiency is humongous. When you don't sleep enough, or if you don't have good quality sleep, every single organ and system of your body is impacted negatively. Yeah, you're basically growing older, you are aging faster, you are setting yourself up for brain degenerative diseases. I know this sounds like very, very bad news, but it's true. And there is very little education about sleep out there. What I'm talking to you about, the statistics say that more than 90% of the people don't know about it. Doctors who study for 5 years in medical school have a 3-hour lecture on sleep. It's 3 hours. And so even if you go to a doctor and say, I'm not being able to sleep properly, chances are they'll just say, well, take a sleeping pill, which is actually a very, very bad idea, because sleeping pills sedate you. They don't allow you to sleep. And there's a big difference between sedation and sleep. Sedation means you are not getting the benefits of sleep. You are just knocked out. Okay. So sleeping pills are a very bad idea. And most doctors simply are not equipped to deal with people who have not who are sleep deprived. Uh, so the cost in money is humongous. Uh, if you think about some of the biggest man-made disasters, then uh, the Challenger space shuttle explosion in 1986, the Exxon Valdez oil spill, the Chernobyl nuclear meltdown, all these have been related to sleep deprived stuff. People were working 30, 40, 50-hour shifts and they just fell asleep. They said that that oil tanker in Alaska crashed into the iceberg because the first mate just simply fell asleep and did not manage to steer the ship away in time. It caused such a humongous natural disaster, epic proportions. So, sleep deprived people can really cause a lot of harm. We've all heard about drunk driving, where people get drunk and then they go and do accidents, and sometimes there are fatalities. And there are breath tests and analyzers and all that, and governments have laws about drunk driving. We all know about that. What we don't know is 4 times more accidents happen because of drowsy driving. People falling asleep at the wheel. 4 times more. Yeah. 4 times more accidents in the world happen because people fall asleep on the wheel. Even if you fall asleep for 3 seconds, 5 seconds, even 2 seconds, at 80 kilometers per hour, that's a long distance that your car travels in 2 or 3 or 5 seconds, and you are not in control anymore and you just bang into things, right? So the personal tragedy that happens because of sleep deprivation is huge. The monetary cost is huge, and the physical health aspects is crazy. So the point is, everybody needs to sleep. Hmm? Get it out of your head that sleep is a waste of time. Oh, if I didn't have to sleep so much, I would get so much more done. No, no, no. It's the other way around. It's because you sleep so much that you are getting so much done. Okay. Uh, I hope by now I have kind of convinced you that you really need to sleep. Uh, your for your physical well-being. There's so many lifestyle diseases that are directly linked to not enough sleep. Yeah. Almost all brain degenerative diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, all this is because of not enough sleep. High blood pressure, obesity, heart attacks, stroke, diabetes, all these lifestyle diseases happen because we don't sleep enough, or the quality of our sleep is not good enough. Okay. Now, obviously, the next question will come, So how long should you sleep then? Are you ready for the answer? Non-negotiable 8 hours of sleep opportunity every night for every single human being on the planet. Non-negotiable. If you are not sleeping 8 hours, you are growing older much faster, you are growing sicker, and amazingly, you are losing out on productivity, creativity, and efficiency because your brain processes a lot of information during sleep, so that when you wake up, you get that insight. Oh yes, have you noticed that you have a problem and you say we'll sleep over it, we'll think about it, and the morning you wake up, you get a really good solution. Yes. So yes, you become older, you become unhealthier, and you become dumber in no uncertain terms if you don't sleep enough. 8 hours of sleep non-negotiable for adults from the age of 16 up. 8 hours. Younger than that, they need actually more sleep. You will notice babies sleep a lot more. Children should be sleeping 10 to 12 hours until they are teens. After that, it comes down to around 10, 11 hours. Yeah. But for adults, at least 8 hours of sleep opportunity every night. Is there something as too much sleep? Yes, there is. And that's if you're sleeping like 12 or 14 hours. But most of us don't have such a big problem. Okay. So ensure that you are getting your full 8 hour sleep every single night. It is very, very important. It is critical. Okay, for productivity, for efficiency, for creativity, for better health, and for, of course, better wealth. Okay, so yeah, so now how do you know? One thing is a problem with sleep deprivation is that most people who are sleep deprived, all people who are sleep deprived don't know they are sleep deprived. When a person is drunk, they know they are drunk. But a person who is sleep deprived does not know that they are sleep deprived. Okay, so here is a little scenario. Say it's a Friday and it's a normal day. We're not in a lockdown or anything like that. Yeah, it's a Friday, and you've woken up in the morning. You have done your meditation. You've done your exercise, whatever. You've gone to work. You've had a full day at work. You know, and you've come back in the evening and you're just going out to hang out with a few friends. Yes, you're not going to booze, you're not going to smoke, you're not doing hookah, you're not doing any of that. You're just with people you really love, who care for you, you care for them, and you're just kind of doing a little party, little time pass. All right. And as you know, with these things, it kind of, you people, you talk, you laugh, you joke, you do all sorts of things, and suddenly it's like 12:30 in the night and you say, oh my god, it's late, I need to go home. And without thinking, you just get into the car and you drive home. And I am sure almost every single person who is listening to me now have done this sometime or the other in their life, right? It's a Friday evening, you've hung out with a few friends, it's late in the night, 12:30 or 1, and you drive back home. Did you know that your response to the road at that time would be worse than a person who is over the legally drunk limit? I repeat, your response to that person, to the road at that time at 1 a.m., 12:30 a.m., would be worse than a person who is over the legally drunk limit. Yet that person who's driving will say, of course, I'm fine. Yeah, what the big deal? I'll drive, not a problem. A sleep deprived person doesn't know that they are sleep deprived. This is super important to understand. For this forum, I'm going to give you three big tips that you can do. Number one, white and blue light after sunset is not good for you at all. Okay, a lot of Indian houses have tube lights in their house, isn't it? And for every 1 hour of exposure of white light after sunset, so that means after about 7 p.m., your melatonin cycle, which is your the cycle that starts the kick starts sleep, is postponed by half an hour. So say for example, you are sitting in a tube light from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's 4 hours, and you should typically, if you are a normal adult, uh, start feeling sleepy at around 11 in the night. You will start feeling sleepy only at 1 in the night, 1 a.m. Okay. Tube lights are not the only cause of white and blue light radiation. Your laptop, your mobile phone, your TV, all these do the same thing. So on your mobile phone, if you have an iPhone, then there is something called night shift. Enable it in your display setting. You can do it right now if you want, and take the slider right all the way to warm. Let me show you. So um, you go onto the display and brightness. All right, and at the bottom you will see night shift. So you go into that, and at the bottom of night shift, there will be a more warm to less warm. So slide it all the way, slide the cursor all the way to more warm. This one thing can really make a huge difference to the radiation that you are experiencing with your mobile phone. Okay, in the newer TVs, they actually have this function inbuilt where the screen makes the picture a little more orangish yellowish as the evening progresses. Same way on your laptops, there is already an app that allows you to do this. Okay, on Android you have something called Twilight, which is the Android version of Night Shift. So please ban white and blue light after sunset. Okay, this is one of the biggest things you can do. Please chuck all the tube lights out of your house. No tube lights. I mean, why do you want your house to look like a hospital anyway? This warm yellow is so much more romantic, isn't it? So uh, get the LCD bulbs, LED bulbs. uh, they are now so cheap, they consume so much less electricity, and this warm nice yellow light after sunset is brilliant for you. I really don't want to go into the science of it because we don't have the time for that on this call, but just take my word for it. If you want to know more, there are two options. One is, of course, come to a online workshop, or an offline face-to-face workshop with me when the lockdown is removed. The second is, we have written a book called Happiness Express. We have a full chapter on sleep in that. You could pick that up and read it. It's available on Amazon Kindle, and if you have Kindle Unlimited, it's actually a free download right now. So, uh, this is the first thing. Get rid of white and blue light after sunset. Okay, there is one question: without white light, how can our kids study? They can study in yellow light. I sit and do all my reading in yellow light. It's not a big deal. Okay. Now, the second thing that you can do is make your bedroom supremely comfortable. Okay, your bedroom should be a sanctuary for sleep. See, human beings are creatures of habit and habitat. All right. Do you notice how when you go into the kitchen, you will do stuff that you do in the kitchen? See, nobody goes into the kitchen and thinks of peeing, for example, isn't it? Peeing happens in the bathroom. Cooking happens in the kitchen. Eating happens in the dining room. Like that, sleeping should happen in the bedroom. And just as in the kitchen, you don't have a toilet pot, correct? Similarly, in your bedroom, you should not have anything that is a distraction from sleep. So that means, I know a lot of people have TVs in their bedroom, not a good idea. Your TV is bombarding white and blue light. The last thing you want to see at night is not some stupid news or some silly movie. Get rid of that TV. Okay, make your bedroom Like how you have an office space in which you keep stuff that is about work, in the bedroom you should have stuff that is about sleep. Okay, so make your bedroom a sleep haven. Invest in getting really soft bed sheets. That Egyptian cotton bed sheets are amazing. It's like sleeping on a cloud. Okay, get really, really, really nice sleepwear. Our Art of Living B Yogi is going to be launching a full sleepwear collection very soon. So you could shop from there, or any nice soft material, loose, comfortable material wear in the night. Okay. uh, there is quite a few people who say the best thing you can do is actually sleep naked, but even then you need good bed sheets and a good blanket to put on yourself. Okay, so invest in that. As far as your gadda is concerned, your mattress is concerned, get rid of all those foam mattresses, get rid of all those hi-fi mattresses. The best mattress is a thin cotton mattress that we all used to sleep on when in the 1980s. Okay, this is the best mattress that you can have for good quality sleep. Your bed should not be hard, it should not be soft, it should be kind of hard. It should not be where you sink into it. Not good for your spine. All right, so make your bedroom really a sleep haven. Put in your bedroom all the things you feel would be good for your sleep. Okay, just as you have in your office your laptop, your notepad, your pen, which is conducive to work, in your bedroom have things that are conducive to sleep. Okay, when you enter your bedroom it should feel like, ah, my space, my place to rest. Okay, yes. uh, it's a shocking number of people who use their bedrooms as offices, use their bedrooms instead of their halls for meeting people. Don't do this. Okay, now if you live in a very small house where it's just the bed and nothing else, really you don't have much space in the house, even then reserve that space for the bed for sleeping. Put your paraphernalia around it. All right. uh, in the South Indian houses, so they roll up the mattress, they don't leave the mattress on the floor in the after when they wake up, right? So basically what I'm saying is create a space for sleep. Okay, this is the second tip. The third big tip I would say is black out your bedroom. It was recently, as late as 1999, it was discovered that in our eyes we have rods and cones. We have all heard about, no, to see. There is another kind of eye cell which actually senses light and which tells the brain, oh, it is morning, it is evening, it is afternoon, it is night. Okay, even the tiniest bit of light will signal to the brain that it is getting morning. Okay, so all those little beeps, little lights that we have, no, the mobile phone charging, the air conditioner light, these little lights can be a humongous disturbance. And of course, if you are having your curtains open and the light from outside, street lamp light, that though is really bad. Okay, so black out your bedrooms. uh, in fact, the sleep research says that it should be so dark that when you hold your hand out like that, you should not be able to see your fingers when the lights are off. It should be so dark, pitch dark. uh, I have become quite paranoid about darkening out my bedroom, and the quality of sleep that I have been getting in a very dark bedroom is simply phenomenal. Definitely no night lamps. All right. So, like I said, number one is ban the white and blue light. This includes your phones, includes your computer screens, includes your TVs. Uh, Fortunately, the newer ones, the newer uh, TVs and laptops come with this as an inbuilt feature, and you just have to enable it. Figure that out. The second is make your bedroom a sleep haven. Just as you would not have a toilet pot in your kitchen, you should not be having a TV in your bedroom, literally like that. And the third is that uh, make sure that you black out your bedroom. Even a little bit of light, very, very little light, will disturb your sleep. If you can try out the experiment right now, you can just close your eyes and you will still feel light. Do you notice that? Uh, your eyes register light even when your eyelids are closed. So even if you are fast asleep and your eyes are closed, the light of the air conditioner, the light of your mobile phone charging, and all the little lights that may be there in your room or outside if your curtains are open will keep giving your brain the message that there is still light and that you still need to be kind of awake. And so the brain will not allow you to go into the deeper stages of sleep where all the benefit is. So these were my three big tips. Like I said, for more, either read our book or I will be doing some online sleep workshops. And if you follow my Facebook or Instagram accounts, I will be posting when over there. You can check it out. My at Facebook is at Khurshid Batliwala, KHURSHED BATLIWLA. Same for the Instagram, it's Khurshid Batliwala. You can just search for me. And those schedules will be posted on those pages. I'm also available for personal coaching um, uh, for people who basically want a massive increase in productivity, or they just want to get more done out of their lives. Okay, so if you're interested in that, then you could just pop me an email on kushal@gmail.com. Now, Niyati, would you like to ask those questions, please?
So coming to the questions, a lot of questions that came up for us. One was, one of the people on chat was asking that, what do you do when you have stress-related insomnia? And the vicious cycle one gets into because you're not able to sleep. As a result, you find yourself not able to wake up in time. And so there's this vicious cycle. So how does one handle insomnia, basically?
Okay, so two things then. One is, you have learned, if you have not yet learned Sudarshan Kriya, if you have not yet learned the Sahaj Samadhi meditation, learn it and practice it. That itself is going to get rid of your stress in a very big way. Okay. Two is, don't stay in bed when you cannot sleep. Otherwise, your brain makes an association that this bed is useless. I had such a terrible time over there. If you cannot sleep, get out of bed, sit and read a book, do something until you actually feel sleepy. Okay. So don't stay in bed if you cannot sleep. The association in your brain with the bed should be nice, peaceful, calm, wonderful, comfortable, stuff like that. Not, oh God, it's night again, I might not be able to sleep, this bed, oh, are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes. So make sure that if you cannot sleep, don't stay in bed, get out of bed and do something. And much more importantly than that, ensure that you meditate, and that itself will take care of a lot of your stress. And our book Happiness Express talks a lot about other things you can do, meditation, exercise, diet, all these things have to be taken care of. Okay.
Actually, that's a great segue into the next question, Baba. One of the listeners was also asking about if we do meditate, and I believe there are studies that reveal you need less sleep when you do meditate. So, is the 8 hours still essential for people who are meditators?
Yes, it is. I personally have not come across any such study that actually says that you need less than 8 hours just because you meditate. See, there are 4 states of consciousness: awake, sleep, dream, meditate, right? Now, would you be able to do something that you can do when you're awake, when you're sleeping? Obviously not, right? Similarly, why do you think that you will be able to do something that you can do while you are sleeping when you're meditating? Okay, there are 2 separate states of consciousness. Both are required. Give both the time that is recommended.
Wow, that's really helpful. I think many of us, I think the answer is no shortcuts. We still
Correct.
got to.
There is a little bit of a hack you get when you do meditate. Again, it will take too much time to explain, but yes, meditation will give you a bit of a advantage with your sleep, but not that you can skip the 8 hours.
Great. Thank you, Baba. Another few questions that kept coming up is about dreams. People saying that they're finding that they have disturbed dreams, which kind of leads them to not having the most sound sleep. Do you have any advice around that?
Exercise and diet. If you are not physically moving, if you are having a sedentary lifestyle, it's going to hamper your sleep. And if you're eating too late in the night, your dinner should be typically now. Like that's what I'm having. I'm having my dinner. I'm having soup right now. So ensure that you're having your dinner early, and that exercise and the time of eating will make a huge difference to the settling down in sleep. Of
And
course,
is there...
it goes without saying that meditation is so. The number one answer to all these questions is meditate. These are the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Lovely. And, you mentioned about dinner time. One of the people joining our call had asked about what is the best time to sleep?
Again, it's a very involved answer. There are 3 types of people, some of whom will need to sleep at around 10:30, 11, some of whom who will want to sleep much earlier, maybe about 8 o'clock, and some of whom who will need to sleep a little later. They are called normal, larks, and owls. So the larks sleep early, the owls sleep late, and the normal people sleep at around 11. You have to figure out what is your inherent rhythm. And the easiest way of doing it is take a vacation once this lockdown is over. Go to some place where there is very little, where there is no internet, and not so much good electricity. So you don't have much to do in the evening, and you will see that if you are a lark, you will start feeling sleepy around 8:30 or 9 o'clock. If you are normal, you will start feeling sleepy at around 11 o'clock. And if you are an owl, you will stay awake and count the stars. Okay. You have to figure out your inherent sleep, your real sleep rhythm, and follow that and respect that, and you will get the most benefit of it.
That's very helpful, Baba. So I guess it's very personal, and we need to tune into ourselves.
So roughly around 60 to 70% are normal, about 10-15% are larks, and 10-15% are owls, something like that.
Okay. Now, the unfortunate thing for some of the people who joined the call was, they said because of work circumstances, it's not easy to put this into place. So some of them work day shift. Some people shared that they have to work 12 hours a day. And so they can't necessarily ensure 8 hours of sleep given their livelihood. Is there anything they can do given those circumstances?
No.
Right.
So I did this sleep workshop with a company in Chennai, and their CEO happened to be there, and they were providing online services to customers in the US. And when he heard about the tremendous havoc that lack of sleep does, I really admire that man. He came up to the front of the room and said, within 6 months, we will stop all US clients and we will get only clients from Europe or Singapore, so that my employees' health is not compromised while we are earning money. And I think if more people put their health above money, this world will be a much better place to live in. So unless you are a healthcare professional or an airline pilot, aerosters, in which case, make sure that you're getting paid really, really well, because you're going to need that money to get back your health.
Wow. And I think, as you rightly said, productivity goes up. So I think unless we're flight attendants or working for airlines, etc., the productivity anyway goes down with lack of sleep. And whether people are really present is. So I think your talk is extremely useful to our audience. And then, Baba, one last question. You talked about creating a sleep haven in our bedrooms, and someone was asking, are there colors that are conducive to creating that sort of heavenly space to go to sleep, in terms of bed sheets, curtains, etc.?
It's very personal. So if you check out my curtains back there, they are floral because I love flowers. But I know there are some people who say, I can't sleep on flowers. It's like sleeping in grass. I would prefer a plain bed sheet. So it's very, very personal. It's what makes you feel good. It's your sleep haven.
Lovely. So thank you very, very much, Baba. We so appreciate you.
I'm sure Niyati has a lot of flowers in her bedroom.
Actually, very perceptive. My headboard is floral.
There you go.
But I've learned so much personally, and I know many people have, and we really appreciate you bearing with us. And definitely all the workshops you run, I know there would be of huge interest. So we'd like to connect with you privately so that we could share it with everybody that joined this call.
So maybe we can put it on the I'll just put it, how do I think everyone, right? So I'll put my email ID there so everybody can see that. So if you're interested in any, workshop, or you're interested in coaching, or you're interested in, being guided by me, then please just pop me an email on this email that is there in the chat, in the chat, khurshid@gmail.com, and I will reply to you and we can set up something. Okay.
Lovely. And on behalf of the corporate desk too, we'd love to have you do sessions for our clients. And so for those of you who'd like your companies to be more well informed and ensure that they bring out the best in you and the organization, luckily, Baba has been extremely supportive to us always. And thank you once again, Baba. We so appreciate your time and expertise and bearing with us through some of the difficult times on this call.
No. Don't worry about it. Glitches and mistakes happen, and the point is we learn from it and we move on.
Thank you.
So everybody, in a bit, Gurudev will be leading us into meditation at 7:30. I'm sure you know about that, but if you don't, then he's been leading us into meditation every day at 12 noon and 7:30 in the evening. It's an absolutely brilliant opportunity to meditate with Gurudev. Don't miss it for anything. And I hope that tonight you will give sleep priority over everything else. Okay. Jai Gurudev. If you're in here, thank you very much. Okay, let me end with a little story. Shall I do that?
Yes, please.
So, I'm a Parsi, and for me, sleep is very important. Really, really important. So I like to sleep. I really like sleeping. And I remember when I was much younger, my mom would say, "Come on, get out of bed. Ketlo sue chali ut. Kai to kar." That's Gujarati for get out of bed, do something. And I would tell mom, Mom, all the problems in the world start because people wake up. Isn't it? So I would say I'm doing my contribution to world peace by sleeping a little more. And I had no idea how right I was. You could make a difference to the national budget just by sleeping a little longer. Okay. So really, really, I mean, I said this in a lighter vein, but sleep is very important and don't neglect it. Unfortunately, is one of the first things that we sacrifice when life gets a little tough. Don't do that. Give sleep priority. Okay. Good night.
Thank you, Baba. Jai Gurudev. Bye.